All right, we're going to kick off. I know we're already recording again. I'll just say it one more time. If you guys can be really mindful of just keeping yourself on mute, if you can do that, it's great. If you're a little technically challenged like I often am, I'll work it out, so don't need to panic. First of all, I want to say a big welcome, but I suppose my heart goes out for so many people in Australia, New Zealand, and the rest of the world right now, because there's no doubt we are certainly up for some crazy times. I know even here in Australia this weekend, lots of people, I suppose what's going on with the coronavirus is that things are really getting serious here in Australia. And again, I want to say our hearts go out to those that have had challenging news over the last week. Maybe their job is a little bit, maybe your financial certainty, security is in fear right now. And I suppose tonight, what we're excited about sharing is to give people hope, to give people a chance to be able to get through these challenging times. To introduce myself really quickly, my name is Adam, and I've been a part of the Juice Plus company since May 2014. And if you are here tonight and you're a little unsure of what you've dialed into, I want to tell you guys that in the beginning, I was super skeptical also, and I was kind of the guy with his arms crossed, and there was no way I was going to do this. Now, of course, 6 years ago, coronavirus wasn't around, but certainly where I was in my life, I was a traditional business owner, and as much as I loved being in traditional business, I never had a plan B, I never had a backup plan, and I thought that was always my A game. And I suppose after about a dozen years of doing my own traditional business, that I finally woke up and thought to myself that this isn't really delivering on the dreams and aspirations that I always hope for. And anyone that's owned their own traditional business will probably resonate with me right now. It's hard enough in the good times, let alone the challenging times like what we're going through right now. So I suppose for me, when I came along to this event, and this might resonate with some of you guys tonight, even though you are a little skeptical, I certainly had a moment of just having my heart open to be able to listen to some cool stories and cool information and be open that maybe there is other ways out there. I'm so grateful that I took the time to come along to this event. I was so grateful that I took the time, although I was super skeptical, to just really listen to some of the stories that shared that really resonated with me. And I'm going to say this, tonight more than anything is just about stories. It's about real, authentic people sharing their stories, their experience, and what this has been for them. I know I'm certainly grateful for this experience. It has changed my life in lots of different ways, but certainly financial stability, security, and choices has been some of the biggest things that it's impacted me in my life. I think I'll say one more thing, and that is this. The reality is the life that we live in today, the world that we live in today, is so different to the world that often our parents grew up in, but many of us are still mirror and modeling that way. And we're wondering why we're not getting ahead in a world that has changed so much. The reality is with social media, internet, word of mouth, I know it's kind of obvious right now. I think many of us are really waking up to it with everything that's going on. But before the coronavirus, the world was changing at a rapid pace. And I think many of us are being exposed right now that we need to move with the times. And I'm certainly, again, if you are here for the first time tonight, I am hopeful that you're able to listen to the stories and just hear what people have to share. So to kick us off, I'm going to pass it over to an amazing couple, Kate and Anthony, and they're going to share a little bit about our mission and the things that go with this.
Hey guys, thanks for having us. It really is a privilege to be in front of so many people. I was thinking earlier today, in times of crisis, we really get to choose at which end of the equation we want to be at. We can either be part of the problem and perpetuate, all the crazy posts and ideas that are going around, or we can be part of the solution. And I feel really honored to have something that we can offer people in these times of crisis, both to create something from home, create income, as well as to really help people build their immune systems, which I don't think I've heard that word more, in my 40 years, but 20 years really dealing in the health profession. So the first thing I want to get across is it's really about the company that you keep. And the company that we are aligned with, which is Juice Plus, has been around for 50 years. And you just think about that in itself, to have that track record. Over that time, the company's done 15 billion in sales, and really at a point where we can deliver such hope to people right now. So as far as the company, we have a head office here in Newcastle, and we have an incredible line of products, which I'm really excited to share about. But the key thing with the company, I think, is their mission statement. And that's to inspire healthy living around the globe. And I can't think of a more important time to do that, but also to build a stable and lasting company. And so if you're curious at all, going, I don't know, who have I aligned with here? Who am I checking out? I think that's the first thing that I was really pleased to tick the box when we got to check this out, 6 years ago. So maybe just share our story, Katie, of how we got started.
Yeah, I think, well, it's something that we talk about now. And like Adam was talking about, the good times in business and then kind of what's happening in the world right now. We see that people are facing kind of two major stresses in life. I think a lot of us are facing both right now. One of a lifestyle stress, we don't have enough time to do the things that we love and enjoy. And the second one being of a health, whether that's our own personal health or the people that we love and care around us. And so we've been in the health industry for the last 16 years. It's been our passion, and we came across these amazing products with the Juice Plus company around 10 or 11 years ago. And the thing that resonated with me straight away, and as we're talking a lot about our immune system right now, is that the products were all plant-based, all whole foods. And most of us know that we should be getting more whole foods into our body, right? A lot of us have really good intentions of what we should be doing. And I bet that if I went into your fridge and I opened the bottom drawer, there might be a vegetable graveyard hanging out down there full of your good intentions that you never quite got around to do. Now, maybe this week you'll start me thinking about soups and all sorts of things like that.
Or a stash of hand sanitizer.
Or, yeah, that too. But
it's crazy when you look at people's buying habits right now. They're spending their money on toilet paper and hand sanitizer and pasta.
Yeah. And a lot of people are
in a pandemic where what should people be spending their money on, really, if they want to build their immune system? It's fruit and vegetables, guys. It's what mum told you and grandma told you.
So what we first of all loved is all plants, all whole foods. There's no warning labels. So it wasn't like, oh, mum can take that, but the kids can't have that. It's everyone can be a part of the beautiful products that we have. And it's a way to help families bridge the gap, whether you're an elite athlete or you're, a vegan raw foodist, all the way through to the couch potato. You're just trying to figure out, what veggies to throw on your plate at night. Our products meet you where you're at, which is really awesome. So do you want to share more around the...
Totally. In a nutshell, it's concentrated nutrition. It's not about getting calories necessarily. It's about getting the nutrition, getting that vitality to your cells, which your innate part of your immunity needs as the building blocks to mount its defense. So whether you're tall, short, old, young, it doesn't matter. Our body needs those basic constituents. So the first product that we have is the fruit and vegetable capsules. Okay, so we've got a vegetable blend with 10 different vegetables. There's a fruit blend with 10. And then when we add to that, it's our premium, which is the berry blend, which is another 10. So you've got, in essence, 30 whole foods that have been grown to the peak of their ripeness. So when you think about when a bird or a bee starts eating something, it's when it's fully ripe. It's almost falling onto the ground. In comparison to if you're growing something to look good on the shelf in a supermarket, this is about getting that high density nutrition into there. So this produce is grown to the peak of its ripeness. And then when it's picked there, it's dehydrated, pulverized, and turned into what I'd describe as a slushy. And so then the moisture is evaporated at a very low temperature. And so you're left with the powder, that powder concentrate. So that we don't need to add any kind of preservatives or things like that to it, it's put into a vegan capsule. So I'll just open that up. So there they are there. So you've got that vegan capsule. So when that goes into your body, off it goes into your bloodstream to do what it knows how to do best.
But we're really passionate about healthy families. It's not just about what can we do for ourselves, but we've got 3 kids of our own. We want to be able to know that they're getting everything they need. And I know there's a lot of parents out there that can get challenged with fussy eaters and, you know, trying to get those fruit and veg into the kids. So the beautiful thing about our company as well is what they do is they mix the fruit and vegetable powders with a special tapioca to help create a children's product, which is like a really awesome little gummy. And here's one of the veggie ones right there. Here's the cool thing. For every adult that goes onto our whole food capsules, we're able to sponsor a child between the ages of 4 and 18 to be on our products for free. The company is incredible at wanting to help families make these changes together, and you can literally get started on the capsules for a couple of dollars a day, including your child being on them too. And if you don't have kids of your own, you can nominate or sponsor a niece or a nephew or a friend's child too. So the study, there's been a study of over 250,000 children within the children's study, and the results that we're seeing around their eating habits, less visits to the doctors. There's so many beautiful results seeing that we're helping change the palate and their cravings of these kids, and helping them make other changes into their lifestyle as well. So pretty amazing to think that families can go on these products and make it a family journey together. I think that's something that's really special.
Totally. What I loved about the products, this is the most researched brand name nutritional on the planet. So 37 studies across the world. And it really just shows what you intuitively would know would happen to the human body if you ate enough fruit and vegetables each day. So yes, it builds our immune system. Yes, improves cardiovascular health, really strong antioxidant powers, repairs DNA. These are some of the things that it's shown to do. So super excited that that study is there and that research, and we can literally get these products drop shipped to people's door, and they can start really giving their body what it needs.
And just while you're talking about drop shipping right now, we know that our amazing team at head office, they're in Newcastle and also in Auckland, they are drop shipping. All the Australia Post and everything is still fully operational. So we know that our clients are going to be well taken care of during this time as well.
The great thing we've got, instead of people filling their bellies with pasta and all sorts of things with not a lot of nutritional value, here we've got our complete smoothie. So this is a blend of 17 different plants with things like alfalfa sprouts and broccoli sprouts and quinoa and all sorts of things you wouldn't necessarily get into your body. But these make the most delicious whole foods. And so you can mix it with your favorite milk or water. You can add berries, all that kind of thing. But for our family, that's a necessity. That's something we have every single day. Our kids have too. But again, such a great solution for people to get that to their doorstep. Right now, I know the company has a really cool promotion where for $100, you can get 30 of these. So $3.33 Aussie per serve. I'm not sure where else you can get 17 different plants in the right blend of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins.
And so, yeah, I'll have mine for breakfast. The kids will have them after school. You'll have them pre or post workout. If we've got lots of clients that are on shift work and you don't want to have something really heavy in the middle of the night, amazing way of helping stabilize your blood sugars. And, you know, a lot of people are spending money on that muffin or that coffee to try and keep going through the day. We can help people switch out into something that's actually nourishing their system, and it's amazing. The last product that we want to share with you is our awesome whole food plant-based omegas. So most of us know that we need good fats, essential fatty acids for optimal health, for brain function, for nervous system. What we love about these is they're taking care of the environment and the ocean. So we're skipping the fish and we're actually going straight to the source. So we're going to the plant-based source of these good fats. Now, I never knew that there was good fats in things like tomato seeds, but there is. And what we're doing, what we've learned, I don't know if you take a fish oil, if you've ever thought about what they have to do to the fish to like squeeze the oil out and then get rid of the smell and the taste and the processing involved, not to mention the effects on the ocean. These are an amazing way of getting these good fats into your body every single day. So these products are a foundation for our nutrition. These are not a replacement for eating well, okay? So this is laying down that awesome foundation in your body every day. And what we have on top of that is an incredible online program and a community that's helping our clients make upgrades in their lifestyle, whether that's moving more, whether that's healthy recipes, whether that's drinking more water. We've got amazing resources within that, not only just the resources, but at a time like now, showing you with different health professionals how you can make upgrades in your lifestyle, meeting you where you're at in your health goals as well, which is really cool.
Absolutely. So great for you guys to check this out. We're going to hand over to Brian and Fiona.
And they're going to share a little more with us around, how we actually look at the business side of things, because there's a lot of people out there right now that are looking and needing our products. And so how can we then turn that into just being a consumer to actually creating an online income stream about making a difference?
Awesome, thank you. I thought maybe Fiona could share how we got started in this business.
Sure. So it was about 4 years ago. I was a stay-at-home mum to our 4 gorgeous kids. And even though I love being at home with them, I did start to feel like I wanted something else for myself. And I thought, what, an extra income would be pretty cool as well. So I thought about going back to work as a primary school teacher or even as a flight attendant. I used to work for Emirates many years ago. But the reality of both of those would mean that we'd have to put our kids into daycare and after school care. And that's not the life that we wanted for our family. Our twins were 3 at the time. And so I thought maybe I can find something online. So I started looking around online, but everything I came across meant I either had to upskill, I had to have a garage full of stock, I had to spend thousands of dollars to start a new business, or I had to have in-home parties all the time and be out at night time. And that's not what we wanted. So I'd actually seen a friend of mine, Kira, and she, we'd known each other for about 8 years at the time, and we had our girls at the same time. And I thought, I was watching her journey over about a 12-month period, and I saw how much her lifestyle had changed in that 12 months. And I knew that she was, all into health and nutrition and whole foods and everything. And she was actually one of my mentors when it came to health. So I knew that the product she was working with was really good. And so I thought, what, maybe I could do this, but I was a little bit scared. So I said to Brian, will you come over to Kira's house with me and just, let's ask some questions and find out a bit more. And he was a little bit skeptical. He was like, I was telling him what I was hearing, what I was seeing. And he's like, I don't know, if this is all, legit or so anyway, I'll pass it over to him and he'll tell you the rest of the story.
Thank you. I definitely was skeptical. I had heard all of these negative things about network marketing, and I think I took advice from too many broke people around network marketing. And it wasn't until I got those questions answered that I realized what it could be for us. The first objection, the first skepticism I had, that it was some sort of illegal scheme. And it was when we had that question, we didn't want to be involved in anything that was illegal, but it was explained to us that those schemes or scams were made illegal in the 70s. So that was a pretty big tick for us. Once we ticked that off, I was able to kind of let my guard down a little bit and move forward with some of the other questions. And I think the other one was that you had to annoy all of your friends and family to be successful in a business like this. And we were shown a way where we didn't have to. Yes, lots of our friends and family joined us on the mission, but we didn't have to annoy them to join us. A lot of them reached out to us. We were taught a way to use social media, to connect with people, to love on people, and show them what this could be for them. So that was the next tick for me. And then the other one was that we needed to know a lot of people. And we certainly didn't come into this business with any social media influence. We didn't have X number of followers. And I think it's an example that you don't need to be successful in this business, because what was shown to us was the power of numbers and just finding people that wanted as much as you. And when I understood how quickly this business can grow from finding people that want to maybe earn some extra money or whatever you're getting into this business for, but when you go and find those other people, then they're taught the same system and then they go and teach more people. And I think if you start with 5 people that are in your world, it's probably not going to be the first 5 people. A lot of people say that they want to achieve or get out of their financial pain, but then things come up in their life and other opportunities come up. So it possibly won't be the first 5, but if you find 5 people that want it as much as you, who then go and find 5 people, quite quickly we have 25 people within our organization, but it started with 5 who then found another 5. And if those 5 people found 5, it's 25, and then they found 25. We've now got 125 people in our organization, but it started with 5 who then go and find 5 people, which is 625. And then over time, and I'm not saying this is a year or 5 years or 10 years, who knows on the time frame on that. For me, a company that's been around for 50 years, I'm in my 40s now. Retirement is very important to me. So I've got a long-term vision around this. But if those 625 people over time then go and find another 5 people quite quickly, well, who knows on the time frame, we have 3,125 people within our organization. And it started with finding 5 people that want it as much as you. Now, is that possible in this climate? Is it possible to find another 5 people that are now forced to work at home? What I think about network marketing and where it's going, it's only going to increase in popularity. People that have lost their job or have just been maybe have been forced to take time off, when they go back into that workforce, do you think their job is as secure as it used to be? I don't think so. They're always going to be skeptical, or they're always going to be worried that what happens when the next crisis comes along. So network marketing, that side gig, just becomes more and more popular. The other, I suppose, skepticism was I heard that people that went before us were making very good money selling these capsules. And I didn't think it was possible because I came out of a traditional business mindset. When it was showed to me how they got paid in this business, and there are multiple ways, but if I go through the main 3 ways that we get paid in this business, the first is retail sales profit. When we sell Juice Plus, all right, to people, we connect them with the company ships the product, it's dropped, shipped. I'm pretty sure that's pretty important these days. We get paid, and it's up to 25% commission depending on the level that you're at within the organization. So that's the first way, retail sales profit. The second way is bonuses. When we have different volume going through our business, the company reward us with bonuses. It starts at $100, goes into the many thousands of dollars, okay? We kind of think of that as now money. I still have traditional businesses, and I don't pay my employees bonuses. It's just kind of not done in that traditional business world. But in this business, where we are taught to love on people, there are a lot of bonuses on the table. And then the third way that we get paid, which I think is where the real treasure is in this business, it's called performance bonus, but it's kind of like being at the beach, or for me, traveling in my caravan, or having to take time out and still being paid in this business. It's the reoccurring money, the residual income, the passive income, or the leveraged income in this business, because this is what you're paid, potentially a commission or a percentage on top of. The power of your business, your team, as they catch the vision and they're selling Juice Plus and they're bringing more people on, you're being paid on top of that, which is important to me. I love what Warren Buffett says. I would rather earn 1% on top of 100 people's performance than 100% on top of my performance. This to me is my performance. This here is that 1% on top of everybody else's performance. And that to me is where the real treasure is in this business. So I'm going to ask Chani now to share her story. Maybe Chani, if you can just explain what life was like before Juice Plus and what life is like now.
Yeah, absolutely. Hi guys. Well, I'm Chani and I'm one of the presidential marketing directors with this amazing company. I joined at the end of 2015, so just a little bit past 4 years now. I was 28 at the time, and I joined because I was just in a really, if I'm really transparent, a very scary financial situation at the time, and I didn't really know how I was going to get myself out of it. At the time, I had absolutely no savings. I had a credit card debt that I had exceeded far beyond what I could afford to pay, and the banks just kept continuing to grant me an extension on my credit card, and I didn't really know how they worked, so I was just paying the minimum repayments, and I just didn't understand
the situation was that I had got myself into, until I had reached an insane debt. And so I was living paycheck to paycheck at the time. And like I said, I had no savings. I wasn't traveling or doing anything like that, because I would literally put $5 of fuel in my car at a time. That's all I could afford. I'd give myself $50 to hang on to, and then I'd find myself 2 or 3 days before payday just living on rations. And so when this came across my lap, I honestly thought, I don't know if I could do this. I really didn't think I would be great at it. I was afraid if I would fail. I was afraid of what people would think of me. But I also looked at my situation that I was in, and I was kind of in a space where I was seeing a lot of people create great success from this, but also just having the time of their life and helping a lot of people. And I couldn't help but just take a closer look and give it a go. So I was working ridiculous hours. I was a registered nurse at the time. I had been a nurse for about 5 years by that point. I was working about 50 hours a week, and to make extra money, I was picking up weekend shifts. I was doing night shift. I was on call. I was just, I wasn't fulfilled in what I was doing. I wasn't lit up, but I was also exhausted, and I was sick and tired of being broke, pretty much. So I always loved health, and it was something that, I would read blogs about and follow people online to read and educate myself about nutrition and exercise and lifestyle. And I was already doing the things that people in this business were already doing. I was already organically and naturally sharing with people that I knew about the things I was learning. The only difference was the people in this business were getting paid for it and I wasn't. So I looked at this and I gave it a big yes. And yes, I was afraid, and yes, I thought I would suck, and I didn't know what this was. I actually didn't even know at the time the incredible company that I was even saying yes to. I didn't have faith or trust in it. I didn't know it was a legacy company. I didn't even know what that was back then. But I said, yes, and I sort of asked myself, what if? And what's happened for me and my family in that time over the last 4 and a little bit years, it's completely changed my life around and my situation. And so in that time, I paid off all of my debt. I actually chopped off my credit card. I don't own a credit card anymore. Anything that I pay for is my hard-earned cash, which I'm really proud of now. That took, it took about a good year to pay that off, but it's something I'm really proud of today. And, I do want to say that my results aren't typical, but neither was the work that I put into this. And I know for those of you who are on the line who have insatiable work ethic, I have no doubt that the results that you'll get from this business and what you'll be able to achieve for yourself will be extraordinary. And so I was able to surpass my full-time income. I left my nursing career. I reached the pinnacle position of the company. My husband had a very successful construction company that he loved, but he was incredibly stressed. I don't know if anyone here on the line is in construction or knows someone in construction and has a business in that industry, but there was just so much risk against his name, and the hours that he was pulling was double what I was as a nurse. And so all I wanted to do was see him happy, and I hated seeing him stressed, and I wanted to travel the world. It was something I had always really dreamed about doing. And so I asked him one day, what do I need to achieve in my business? What's the number that I need to earn to have you close the doors and join me and do this with me? And so he gave me a number, and I worked really, really hard at that number. And in 2018, we were able to close the doors to his company, and we went on a 12-month honeymoon around the world, credit card free. And, that was a really big deal for me. And so I guess the thing that I want to leave you with tonight and to answer your question that you're probably asking yourself, and that's, okay, I get it, you did it, but how did you do it? And because that's the question I had the very first time I came along to something like this. The way I did it was I just helped a lot of people. I came from a heart space and just really shared with people organically and naturally what I was already doing, and that was just helping people how to be healthier. I spoke to people that were in the same position as me financially, and I don't know, maybe call me oblivious or naive as a 28-year-old back then, but I just painted this crazy vision of why I joined this and why I was excited and what this could be. And, you know, all of a sudden I started linking arms with these incredible, like-minded, passionate people who are now my bestest friends in the world. And I just shared why. I just shared my story, and people resonated with that. And that's what I did. I just added value to the lives of others for no reason other than just being a light, which I think is so important right now in the time that we're living in this world. Would you agree that more now than ever we need community and connection, and people need us to be that light for them? And that's what I did, you know, all those years ago, and I continue to do today. I just cared for people around me. I cared for people that I knew needed this product and needed the program for their health. I shared it with everyone that I loved because I genuinely want the people that I love around me for as long as they can be here. I shared events like this where, you know, the leaders who had gone before me were sharing and educating for me. I didn't have to talk. I just shut up and invite people. And, you know, these events did all the work for me, which I really loved. And I invited people that I was meeting at the gym or I was meeting online on Instagram and, you know, talking to through DMs, and people I would meet at barbecues who I clicked with and I had a connection with. And, you know, I didn't know a lot of people. I'm a massive introvert. I'm not someone who will just come up to you at a barbecue and say hi and introduce myself. So I thought that was going to be a really biggie for me, but honestly, it ended up being something that became so fun when you connect with that person and you share something that's, you know, you share that vision together. So I didn't want to annoy my friends and family. One of the reasons I nearly said no to this for so long was because I thought I don't want to be that person online annoying my friends and family. And so I joined this with the promise to myself that I'd do it authentically and I'd do it with heart and passion, and I'd share this with people if it felt right. I didn't push it on people. I wasn't annoying. I just shared it if it was right. And so I learned pretty quickly that if I wanted to have a lot of business, I needed to talk to a lot of people. And if I wanted a small amount of business, I needed to talk to a small amount of people. And that just made sense for me. And I just shared this with people as much as I could. And so I joined this business to have a lot of business. I shared this with a lot of people over the last 4 and a little bit years. And what we've created now is just has been life-changing, and I couldn't stop it even if I tried. And I'm really excited that you're here tonight so that we can share that gift on to you. So I'm going to flick it over to Linda because I really want you guys to hear her story. She's been in the game much longer than me. So Linda, I'm going to flick it over to you.
Hey everyone, I'm Linda. This is my husband James, and it's kind of our story tonight. And it's always, I love sharing our story because I know that it's very typical. And you may not know this, it's over 60% of Australians have no more than 6 weeks savings. And that just still gets me because I know a lot of people are there right now, right at this moment. And if I look back to 12 years ago, we went through the global financial crisis, which we were living in the US at the time, and it hit there a lot harder. We lost our house, we lost our business there. We did the right things. We both, you know, we were always ambitious, like Chani said, hardworking, above average work ethic, and it just didn't work out. You know, we kept losing that. We'd get it and then we'd lose it. And I remember a moment of just being at the checkout and going, I'm just too smart for this. And here I am having to transfer $10 to this account and that account with 3 kids under 3.5. And it was a desperate time for me personally, and I'd lost my confidence. The girl that used to be able to take over the world, I felt like she had disappeared. And I see this with lots of mums sometimes. And thankfully, I had my friend who I loved and trusted, and I saw her doing so well when everyone else was in a financial hardship time. She had found this Juice Plus company and business. It was before social media. It was before digital marketing like this. It was still one-to-one and one person at a time. And I remember she said to me, what if you could do this? And I had all the same fears. I had a lot of the same reluctance of, I don't know many people. I don't know how to sell. And she said, you know what? Do you know any other women who are just like you right now? I said, I know a few. And she said, we just take care of people. We just invite. And literally one person at a time, you know, one conversation at a time, you know, after the first month, there was that $200 or $300 bonus. And I got to tell you that too, that first $200 bonus to me, it just brought back everything for me. My confidence built, my faith, my hope. And when you get paid to help people, that's what this is. This is the ultimate pay it forward business.
I love it. Well, I just saw that it lit you up. I saw that it lit Linda up. You know, at that time, it was crazy. There was financial stress. We had our backs against the wall. It was a tough time, and literally, yeah, we had nothing to lose. I was doing all I could to bring in income, which was at the time probably 60, 70 hours a week. I'd literally leave at about 8 a.m. and get home at 8 p.m. 6 days a week, and that was just bringing in enough at that time. We had nothing to lose. We had time. We had time, and we had energy, and we had belief, and we had hope. And I saw that it lit Linda up, and there was good people involved. And I just did what I could, and I said, "Honey, go for it. Like, whatever. Let's go." And this is what happened.
And so the question that my friend asked me when I had all of the excuses and all of the doubts and fears was, "What if? What if you could?" And so that's kind of the question that I leave you all with tonight. You know, what if this does work, the products work, and the marketing plan works, and the programs work, and the mentoring and the community and the emotional revenue. I think now more than ever we need connection, and we need to take care of each other, and we do that in abundance. We do that in bucket loads across the world. So welcome to everyone. Whether you do a little or a lot, you'll be a blessing in our community.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, James. Thanks to all the other guys that shared tonight. I'm certainly always inspired to listen to so many amazing stories here. And I know for me, when I came along to my first event, although I was really skeptical, I think the same thing Linda said. I asked myself a couple of questions. One was, what if? You know, what if this thing could work? What if I could create an extra $500 to $1,000 a month in and around what I was already doing at the time? That certainly made a difference for us. And I think the other thing, if it's not this, then what? You know, what's truly right now as the world goes through, you know, I truly believe that we're only feeling the start of what's going on right now, that this is just the warm up to what we're seeing play out. And we all need to take responsibility and be proactive in these times. And I think, you know, I'm passionate, and I know so many of the people here are passionate about really helping people get through these times. And so I'd encourage you guys to really, if this does resonate with you, reach out to the person that shared this with you. And, you know, I know I had loads of questions, and you probably do too. So I'd encourage you to take the time to get your questions answered, and don't just dispel this, because I can't imagine my life if I had to decide, oh, so many questions, I don't know, I'm just going to put my head back in the sand and away I go. Certainly right now we'd be in a lot of financial uncertainty. I think the other thing is, I know when I came along to an event like this, one of the things I did think, there's a couple of people around me that I'd really love to be able to help. And what we wanted to do tonight, because it is crazy, and I think that there is some urgency right now that we take action and really reach out to the people around us, is that in 19 minutes time, we're going to open up another event. I know some of you guys right now is like, are you guys crazy? But we promised that we're going to deliver it even shorter than what you guys just heard. So it's going to be, we're going to deliver 30 minutes of greatness to anyone that you would love to invite. So right now, if you are thinking of someone, I know for me that when I came along to this event, not only did I think, geez, this could help me, but I also thought there was 2 or 3 people around me that I thought this could help right now. And I know you're probably thinking, would they do it? I don't know. Would they be interested? You know, to be honest, I didn't think I'd be interested in this either before I came along. So I want you guys to do this. I want you guys to pick up your phone in the next 15 minutes, and I want you to message a couple of people that you really love to be able to help, and just say, hey, what are you up to in the next 10 to 15 minutes? That's all you want to ask them. You don't want to try to explain it, and just say, hey, I'm about to jump onto an online event. I thought you might be interested. It's about how to create an extra income from home. And with everything going on right now, I couldn't help to think it might be something of interest to you. Please, guys, I trust me on this, is that the event will be able to explain what it is. If you try to explain it, it probably won't make sense. And most people, in my experience, never get the opportunity to feel what you and I feel tonight is that, you know, we often make the decision, not just because it makes sense, but it feels right. And there's nothing like this event. And if it wasn't for someone holding a space for me to come along to this event, I probably would have never done this also. So I'm saying this, over the next 15 minutes, if there is somebody that you care about, someone that you're worried about, someone that you want to be able to help through these challenging times, then I encourage you guys to reach out to them, check in what they're up to in the next 15 minutes, see if they're around to jump on. It will be the same Zoom code. Send them the Zoom link, and we look forward to seeing you guys and hopefully some people that you love and adore around you that you want to look after. Hopefully you will see them on this event also. Until we see you guys in about 15 minutes, we'll see you soon. Thanks again, guys. Bye.